conexiones tiene, pero yo sé que es el futuro y el pasado los que me hicieron daño, también los perdoné. Sueño por cumplir y jamás me detendré, porque yo sé que si se puede, al viento se lo lleve, corazón lo lleve, con la ayuda del creador todo se puede. Si se puede, si se puede, deja que se lo lleve, no lo lleve, con la ayuda del creador todo se puede.
Sí se puede, y el que diga lo contrario será mejor que se aleje. Cruzado de brazos, jamás tú te quedes. Créele al de arriba y no te dejes frustrar. Dile adiós, sáltate con valentía y perseverancia. No hay nada imposible para aquel que cree, y verás tu sueño realidad como yo lo logré. Las tormentas de la vida de seguro que vendrán. Para todo hay salida y un rayo de sol saldrá. Sé fuerte, no te me quites, fuerza del cielo tendrás. Canta conmigo y repite, si se puede llegar.
Deja que lo mueve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo lleve, con la ayuda del creador todo se puede. Si se puede, si se puede, deja que lo malo el viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo lleve, con la ayuda del creador todo se puede.
Si se puede, claro que se puede. Sé fuerte y lo lograrás. Con fe las cosas suceden, no te me quedes atrás. Los comentarios negativos no le prestes oído y sin parar sigue hacia adelante. Eso que anhelas, si perseveras, llegará en cualquier instante. Dilo conmigo, si se puede. No te quites, si se puede. Vamos para encima, si se puede. Claro que sí, si se puede. Dilo conmigo, si se puede. No te quites, si se puede. Vamos para encima, si se puede. Claro que sí,
Si se puede, si se puede, deja que lo malo al viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo llene, con la ayuda del creador todo se puede. Si se puede, si se puede, deja que lo malo al viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón, con la ayuda del creador todo se puede.
en la vida siempre va a haber gente que te va a decir que no se puede. Pero ¿sabes qué? Escucha, claro que se puede. Ya, Manny Montes, Alex Zurdo, Línea de Fuego, Chuelo, Caldetronic y los legendarios.
Escuché en una ocasión de alguien que me decía que si pensaba intentarlo yo jamás lo lograría, que soñar era de ricos y pa'l que conexiones tiene, pero yo sé que se puede. Yo miré hacia el futuro y el pasado lo borré, y a los que me hicieron daño también los perdoné. Hay un sueño por cumplir y jamás me detendré, porque yo sé que se puede. Sí se puede, sí se puede. Deja que lo malo al viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo lleve. Con la ayuda del Creador todo se puede. Sí se puede, sí se puede. Deja que lo malo al viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo llene. Con la ayuda del Creador todo se puede.
Sí se puede, claro que se puede, y el que diga lo contrario será mejor que se aleje. Cruzado de brazos, jamás tú te quedes. Créele al de arriba, trabaja y no te dejes frustrar. Dile adiós al desánimo y la vagancia. Esfuérzate con valentía y perseverancia. No hay nada imposible para aquel que cree, y verás tu sueño realidad como yo lo logré. Las tormentas de la vida de seguro que vendrán. Para todo hay salida y un rayo de sol saldrá. Sé fuerte, no te me quites, fuerza del cielo tendrás. Canta conmigo, repite, si se puede, ya verás.
Se puede, deja que lo malo al viento se lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo lleve. Con la ayuda del Creador todo se puede. Sí se puede, sí se puede. Deja que lo malo al viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo lleve. Con la ayuda del Creador todo se puede.
Sí se puede, claro que se puede. Sé fuerte y lo lograrás. Con fe las cosas suceden, no te me quedes atrás. Comentario negativo, no le preste oído y sin parar sigue hacia adelante. Eso que anhelas y perseveras llegará en cualquier instante. Dilo conmigo, sí se puede. No te quites, sí se puede. Vamos pa' encima, sí se puede. Claro que sí, sí se puede. Dilo conmigo, sí se puede. No quites, sí se puede. Vamos pa' encima, sí se puede. Claro que sí,
sí se puede, sí se puede. Deja que lo malo al viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo llene. Con la ayuda del Creador todo se puede. Sí se puede, sí se puede. Deja que lo malo al viento se lo lleve, que el amor de Dios tu corazón lo llene. Con la ayuda del Creador se puede.
En la vida siempre va a haber gente que te va a decir que no se puede. Pero ¿sabes qué? Escucha, claro que se puede. Yeah, Manny Montes, Alex Zurdo, Línea de Fuego, Chuelo, Caldetronic y los legendarios.
And we are about in. And we are starting, and we are giving thanks to the Lord on a day like today. We are starting with a registration of 736 persons online and more coming. 736 personas, 732 participantes. 700 escuchen. ¿Cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. Muy bien, gracias. ¿Cómo te va? ¿Cómo te va? Buenas practicar español. ¡Qué bien! Entonces, why are we together here on a Sunday afternoon? My I need lecturers who are going to take us through an afternoon of love and training. Yes, it is Sunday, but after COVID, every day is a working day. And we are happy to be able to guide you today through two important sections of the exam, which is the oral reading and also the guided interview or the oral interview. And we know that while I am speaking, my colleague, the National Education Officer for Spanish, Ramonia Smith, has been writing on the chat. So I wanted to listen to me, but I also wanted to keep eye of that chat. So we declare this training, this second training, the first one was yesterday, officially open. And we welcome every single person connected. Remember, a little nitty gritty. They are cyber mercenaries called hackers. If anything goes bad, disconnect and is that clear? It doesn't look like we have a full antidote for them. And although the Jamaican Teaching Council is providing us with this space and we love them very much, Dr. Winsome Gordon and her team Can I continue with Spanish? God, we have 795 persons online. Ooh, ooh, ooh. 796. So let us start. How many are from Jamaica? Even open the microphone and give me a big shout. How many are from Jamaica? How many Jamaicans we have? Start typing the names of the.
I'm from Jamaica.
I'm from Jamaica.
Jamaica. Jamaica.
Oh,
Very good. Mary, close. Everybody, champion bar. Yes, we are proud of you. Mount. Overlay. Yes, same. Have Grenada, St. Lucia. Hospitality, and enjoy, learn, practice, brilliant, while amazing lecturers are providing us preparing for whether Jamaicans and or from Caribbean to introduce themselves briefly. Just tell me the country and the name and allow us to see your face. We want to say thank you. And today, that president of the association, Mr. Neri Griffiths, had created an amazing digital resource. Every single person who will complete the survey copies of the presentations will receive the digital certificate with his or her name. How do you like it? So technology is really amazing. And by me saying that, please, Merrick and or Ramonia, please share that first, the only instrument, the real one that we can use to communicate that we examination 2022. There are only two sections which is oral, and the guided there yesterday. I'm so sorry you are not hearing me because I am at the top of my voice. Lo siento mucho. Can you hear me now? Hi, Neri, to connection. We have to rescue her from that. Now, let me start looking, seeing the faces of the teachers who will be so kind to introduce themselves. There are two ways. You can just put your name, possibly in the chat and the name of your school, or you can just come with your nice face like I am, yes, and tell me right here on camera, who are you? Okay, Alana, eres la primera. Adelante. Okay, the first teacher, help me with the hands there, Neri. Who is raising hands? Let me see. De los participantes. Okay, Melisette, pasó. Usted también. Dígame algo. From Tara, and Tab Chantel Stewart from Cedar Valley. Let me see if I can follow on the chat because the chat is going at a very high speed. We have Chantel Stewart from Cedar Valley. We have Malvis Aranda, the chair of at the Modern Languages Board of Teachers Education, International Cooperation Director at Sherwood Teachers College. And we have Christine Anderson from Central High School. And we have Opal Reed. Oh, yeah, yeah. Awesome. If we Opal Reed from Taran. And we have Malaya from Jamaica, Josan Samuel from St. Lucia, big up Melisette. And we have Raisha McLean from Melgrove, and Christopher from Jamaica College. And we have, wow, wow, wow. Yes, my camera is glitchy because the surrounding is my living room and I don't want you to see what I have around. So I put it blurry. Sorry. And we have Alaya Woody from Melgrove and Senora Roslyn from Paul de San Vicente. Muy bien. And we can continue on and on because what is going to happen? We have Miss Stevenson or Mrs. from Alpha, Olivia Bernard from Jamaica, Abigail Robb from Covent of Mercy, Found from Jamaica College. Wow, I love you, teachers, because you are here. You are here because you love this teaching and you love what is happening in the Ruel Houghton from St. Lucia. And now we are going to move into our next session. Angela Smith from St. Bart's, Juanita Joseph from Guyana, Monique Richards from Convent Academy, Deon Miller from Jamaica. I cannot read them all, but there are many teachers here. And we are now at 8 and 69 participants and many more coming in. Thank you to every single person. And tell me, Profesora Ramsey, ¿está usted ya en línea? Profesora
Yes,
Ramsey,
estoy.
en línea. Muy bien. Un minutito más. I want to make sure that I insist on something. What do we expect of this today? Is just to be able to prepare you, to be able to help you with your Spanish preparation for CXC. And this training is being offered by Jamaican teachers for the entire Caribbean. That must be said. like we did last year in 2021. It is our great joy to share with you, and I know the other countries are going to be ready also to share with us what is expected out of today's session, that when we end, you will be better prepared. And this is why this effort is being put together. Hence, now, without further ado, yo deseo presentarles a la doctora, a la profesora Paulette Ramsey, one of the academicians with the longest trajectory in research, teaching, and publications. A person who was at the helm of a Caribbean or CSEC examination for many years, for decades, and now has transited to a higher position at the distinguished University of the West Indies, that is one of the 5 best universities in the world. Paulette Ramsey, Professora Paulette Ramsey, cannot be left out of anything that we do. So today we are ambushing Professor Ramsey, who has a lot of paper to mark, any amount of publications in the system, but she is with us because she also wants to make a contribution to this effort. Estimadísima profesora, tiene usted el derecho a la palabra.
Estudiantes de Malta.
This meeting is being
Voy a hablar en
recorded.
inglés, o sea, en una mezcla de inglés y español para que todos los estudiantes me entiendan muy bien, ¿no? So the first thing I want to do is to congratulate all you wonderful students aprendiendo eso. The more people speak, the smaller. For this great decision. Give our amazing teacher a big round of applause. maravilloso, cariñoso, por países otras palabras. De vez en cuando. Ok, examen oral. Hay que preparar casi sin fin. Very practical thing that you can es hacer una lista. Get flashcards. Write the themes. You know the themes that to focus daily supposed to find the vocabulary. I'm sure related to the topics, right? And that is part of your words, classmates, all the, so instead of going on the phone and just chatting, practiquen el español. Practice Spanish with each other. Don't just wait until you see your teacher or you go into the exam to practice. Practice with each other. Practice what you're learning in your classes. Practice makes perfect, as somebody wrote in the chat, right? Practice on playing games and engaging in idle talk. Ask each other questions related to the topics, and just make that become part of your operandi, and that will improve your ability to produce the language. I know that because that is what I did when I was younger, studying the language. I also just take a lot of them and I would and play them back. So if I was doing the dishes or something, I would just and anticipate the meaning, right? Just anticipate the meaning of the words. You can record questions and practice answering them and so on, right? Pay attention to your teachers. Pay attention to your teachers. Your teachers are experienced people who understand the exam and who can guide you. So please listen to them. Don't listen all over the place and say, oh, I never heard, or somebody from another school, so and so, and if you ever heard that, teacher who is gifted, the teachers have committed to guiding you through this important phase of your life, and you need to trust them and listen to them, right? Now, listen to this one. You need to practice every day. You get up, you sounds. There a lot down with production because you continue to produce the vowels in Spanish like vowels. So you pronounce your a, e, I, o, u, a, e, I, o, u, right? Let's do that now together. All 1,000 of you. Open your mics. We're going to do the vowel sound. A, e, I, o, u.
I-O, I-O, I-O.
See, right? That's very important. And watch those combinations y la diferencia entre la U inglesa y la U española and so on. But practice those vowel sounds. Stress those words that have written accents, right? Remember, all words have accents. Some words have written because the accent has moved into an irregular position. That's what an accent means. So you need to stress it. But all words naturally have accents. But when you see that little mark, it's a warning saying this word is pronounced differently outside of the regular rule. So you have to stress it. And that's how you produce the language well, right? Now listen to this one. Listen to Spanish on you. Listen to man, music is such a wonderful way when that rhythm gets into your head. The same we're trying to teach to you. When somebody puts on a reggaeton or una salsa, those words, I know you young people. So listen to music, to hear words, to hear the way people pronounce. I sat and listened to the song that was being played at the beginning, and I thought, wow, I wonder if these students are listening, because there were so many phrases that you could have learned right there just from listening to one song. Si se puede, claro que sí. Todo se posible. Produced, repeated in that song that are ringing in your ears now. What was interesting, wow, somebody, a wonderful song to motivate you, to say to them, yes, you can. Puede. You're going to just do well. No hay nada impide para todo hay salida, pero tienen que escuchar a los phrases. Those are new phrases you must walk away with today. Si se puede. Si se puede. Todo se puede. Listen to music is a good one. So when you go on YouTube, you bring up Spanish. Watch telenovelas. You like to watch, I know you like to watch soap operas. So I'm speaking too fast. Somebody's saying I'm speaking too fast. A student. Okay, I'll go. Watch Netflix, somebody said. Watch telenovela. Instead of, all their ears, get the practice, get your ear tuned to hearing. The more you hear it, when native speakers speak in their natural settings, because remember, on the telenovelas and so on, they're not speaking for you. So the more you watch them and listen to them and you can follow them, it means you're getting practice, right? So do that. Now listen to this one. And this is a big one. The most important part of speaking is listening. You have to listen before you can understand what is transmitted able to speak. So you go into the exam, don't go into the make sure you hear properly. You hear the instructions. Now, sometimes, and not just sometimes, but very often, I've witnessed that students memorize for the guiding questions, have pages of question and answer, and they memorize them, and then they become like robots. So as soon as the examiner opens his or her mouth and says reportes, they start rattling off answers. They haven't heard a question yet, but they jump and any question the person asks, they have one model answer for it, and they are going to say it come hell or high water. Be careful, son, and make sure you hear the question first, and then you answer the question that has been asked. Nothing is wrong with asking repita por favor, right? But don't spend the whole exam asking a repita por favor. But you can once or twice, because at least it shows you can use some Spanish, right? But take your time and listen to. I remember once I did a certain school. There were at least 3 students who came and they did their own exam, because for every question I asked, and I was stunned. I just sat there saying, is this real? For every question I asked, they answered a different question, because they have memorized something. Yes, you can say un momento pans. Yes, you can say that, right? Yes, it is real. It has happened to me. They just answer anything. Just say something for the sake of saying, because they are not understanding, right? Okay, so listening is very important before you rush to speak. And this one you may not think is important, but it's extremely important. Guess what this one is? Relax. Just relax, right? Relax. No one, listen to this, no one will kill you or eat you in the exam. Believe me, the examiners haven't started eating students yet. So this is something, let me tell you, this is something I learned as a young scholar. And when I just started going to conferences, and I used to be so said, listen, just tell yourself, nobody in that conference listening to me can kill me. They can't kill you, and they can't, you just breathe, right? So this is what I want of you to do. Breathe, smile, read to the examiner. Buenos días, señora, señorita, etc. Go in and just be and make the afraid of you. You go in and you're so grim the most to get you to speak, right? Speak. Just be happy and be friendly and you will be fine. You will be fine. You will do well. Sí se puede. Se puede. Vamos para. When you, I think that some good tips them in place help you, right? Listening, learning vocabulary. Listen to you to learn at the same time. Finally, say to you that in 2022-23, and I'm not telling you now for everybody to go get frightened and carry on. There'll be a new language policy at the University of the West Indies, and it will be presented to the public, you know, formally and so on. But I'm just telling you now, since you are young people learning the foreign language. This policy says that as of September 2022, everybody coming to UWI, whether in Antigua, Trinidad, Barbados, Jamaica, open campus to do. You right here online listening to us, you are the privileged because you are already doing a foreign of the game. You came to UE in January, even with your CSEC, you will be exempted from that regulation, right? You have CSEC or CAPE. Once you have CSEC or CAPE, that's how we count the value of courses. Somebody's asking what is a credit. That is how we count the value of a course in the university. Right? Most courses start at being 3 credits. To do your degree, you need a certain number of credits. And each course, there are 6 universities. And what we really many of you as possible to come to do the major in Spanish or French or the minor. So if you come and you have your CSEC and you don't want to do it, fine. You get exemption. You will be happy. Go do something else. But if you want to global person, somebody who's in the world and wants there, we welcome you. Not you, but if some of you wait 2 more years and come with CAPE, come a new major, right? So you're on your way to meeting the language way or the other, right? Do guided conversation. Do listen to the questions. Just do your best. You will be fine. You will be fine. Make your teacher, make all guys this workshop, make yourselves proud, make your parents proud. Believe me, you will be fine. You will nothing. There's no surprise. There's no surprise on the exam for you. Anything that will be in the exam will be something your teacher would have taught or you would have seen somewhere. So just prepare. Si se puede. Si se
this gender form sir. What do you think I of a presentation? It is emotional. It is a great exposed to different experiences the paragraphs. I have my gratitude, everybody's gratitude for the Professor Ram in any and to go to place together message will become more valid. Each of us can take a page out of these comments, out of these notes, out of these suggestions to apply it. Because the whole idea is for her to share her what 30, 40 years now for you, which is good for Professor Ramsey share with us. She is what I call international judge because she's not kind of there. I tend to walking, she's the Bible feeds the truth. Just who are participants of us know today is the meat of the matter. Benefit from this presentation and do what to do. Professor Ramsey, yourself, and all the others, I'm kindly going to ask whether Neric or Ramonia to place in the chat the Google survey that I want you to complete. Guess what? I do not want to miss on this. And Mr. Griffith created a digital certification. So whomever completes the Google survey, a certificate of participation. And I don't want you to miss on this one. I don't want any of my 964 participants to miss on that one. Neric or Ramonia, can I see Google survey at section? Neric, Ramonia, can I get a yes? Can I get two?
We're going to be placing it a little closer to the end of the section, based on the fact that it's an evaluation form and it requires students to comment.
I think she was sent
Yes.
a little towards the end to put that survey up.
The
It's
thing is
better
that I
that way.
want Prof may not stay with us the whole time. And I want Prof to have the link for for the
The
presentation.
link would be sent to
That
her
is the case.
privately.
Okay, no problem. So we continue now. And before we continue, and we have already screened that handsome Mr. Errol, hmm, I am going to share the first credit, and this one is going to be a flow credit. I want everybody very ready and very sharp because I'm going to say it twice. You know that the number comes in blocks of 5, 4, and 5, and I'm going to say it in that way. 5, 4, and 5. So, en sus marcas, go. I'm going to start now in Spanish. Seis, nueve, seis, seis, ocho, cinco, cuatro, nueve,
Somebody
yeah,
hurry. Hurry.
Errol Hutton, and a solid, robust senior education officer with direct supervision in region.
Matter.
Okay, but somebody that I met, he was the president of the, he was Spanish officer for some time, meaning occupying the position that Ramonia now holds. And he's always been one of those persons that is called for everything. Errol can face the luxury of telling me I can't, and I will beg and cry on his wide, high shoulder until he says yes. But Errol is also Jamaica's national convener for CXC. And everybody knows Errol from inviting him to meetings and activities. There is no way you can hold any CXC training without accommodating Errol. He also shares that wealth of knowledge that today he's willing to come and share with us. Errol is another walking Bible, young but extremely talented. As young as Professor Ramsey, different in age, but combination is perfect. To welcome open-heartedly, con todo nuestro corazón, con toda nuestra necesidad de aprender, la presentación y el trabajo que va a compartir con nosotros el señor Errol Hutton. Errol, adelante.
Of the
Narrating.
I had. So my presentation will be it. So what I am encouraging the students to is ensure that answer all the questions asked. You have to ensure that then that the examiner asks you, you give an answer to it. If you don't answer, you get zero. If you answer and there is something wrong, you still get right. Just and your answer is relevant to the question asked, which means you have to listen carefully, very carefully, so you can answer. Don't be like those candidates who were not listening, the ones Dr. mentioned, who just because they might like what they had swatted, but exactly what the question asks and respond to it. Your answer must be relevant. All right? And please do not allow your questions to go unanswered. As I said, it's important. You're going to pick up some marks for answers that are relevant and good. Be clear in your responses. And if possible, use your synonyms and so on in your answers. This is very important. And we have to emphasize that you're going to be speaking at a natural pace. We don't want the students to be coming there and basically counting the words, nor do we want you to be flipping off something that the examiner can't hear. Speak at a natural pace so that you can be heard and that you can be given the score that you deserve for your responses. All right? Make sure, I'm hearing some persons, will you mute your mics? Make sure that your answers are given, as was said, also ensure that
He's on mute. Panahon.
tense, use if you're tense, sure in your responses. All right. Ensure that if you're responding to a question and it naturally requires that you give a reason, you say you porque no this whatsoever reason. Give that right away. That helps you very much in the exam. All right. And I'm encouraging you to have